Just because we get that question all the time. What song is that, Suze?
Oh, man, it's just jams.
Just made it up. It's just a Suze jam. Dude, I got a question for you.
Yeah?
What makes a good profile? I was thinking about this the other day because I got a comment and it was like, who do you think makes the best profiles? And I thought, well, I don't even know what that means. And I do this for a living.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Right here, we're playing 58, 5E7, Bandmaster 1-3. Okay? Let's hear that again. Play something, and then I'll ask you to repeat the same thing.
I'll turn
again.
the chorus off.
Yeah, we'll turn the chorus off, and we'll play, how's this delay and stuff? Is this transparent enough? Yeah, it's
barely
good.
hear it.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, that's the amp. Volume at 6.5 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
This one goes to 12. You know what I mean? The old ones go from 1 to 12. So
that's not a Spinal Tap joke.
That's... Yeah. No. So halfway up is 5.5 or
Sure.
6.5.
Right. Okay.
And then all the EQs at 6. Bass, treble, presence, all at 6.
Okay.
On this amp. Here is a profile with the exact same settings on the amplifier. Little bit different.
A lot of it different.
Oh, it is a lot of
it's like
bit
an
different.
EQ pedal got turned on or something.
It does sound very much like an EQ pedal got turned on. That's kind of that's a little bit like what we did. Here's the first one again, 1-3. And then back to what I'll call the world's silliest EQ pedal. It sounds like we made the amp from this big to this big, right? Like it's now. That is what I call Bandmaster baffle.
Yeah.
And that came from this idea of I mic the speaker in a weird spot and kind of accidentally. And then I went and checked the sound and I thought it sounded good. And so the traditional like wisdom here, look, I brought visual aids today, Suze.
I like this.
What makes a good profile? You got your speaker and you start with your 57 right here in the middle. You could put it dead on or you could put it off axis, right? If you put it dead on, it's going to be brighter, let's say. Spikier, I'll call it. More aggressive in the high presence, right? It's not going to roll off top end as much. You start in the middle and it's going to be pretty harsh. As you start to move toward the outside, high end will smooth off and you'll get darker and darker, roughly. Well, what I did for baffle was this thing has a 310. I accidentally put it way over here.
Not even
Near
on
the speaker.
cone.
It's not even on the speaker.
Right.
And I used this vocal mic to do it. A Beta 57A.
Okay, and it was far from any center of any speaker.
Yeah. Inches off.
Yeah, okay.
You know, it was here. And the edge of the speaker is like there. There, I think. And this thing's over here.
Okay.
So it's miking wood.
Right, yeah.
And it still sounds like this.
You might as well put it just over here somewhere.
Why not put it, next to your ear? You know what I mean?
Right.
What are we doing, you know?
Yeah.
But play this again. I mean, if you let your ears adjust a little bit, this actually is a good sound. It sounds nice.
Yeah, I like it like more delicate like that.
Yeah.
You know, maybe more ambient.
Yeah.
You got any ambience on there?
Yeah, and here's some ambience. Here you go. Let me just roll this stuff up.
Just turning every knob.
I don't even know what we're doing. Try that. I've always thought one of the tricks, if you want to use a lot of delay and verb, is you want your sound to be smaller.
Oh, interesting.
You know, if you have too much bass,
Could be overwhelming.
it'll get muddy. So you cut out some of the low end.
Tips and tricks.
Yeah, and then sometimes, you know, you make it extra sparkly, and then you make the delay and verb dark, and they don't get in front of each other.
Yeah.
But if you make it more focused like this, you got a lot of room to like let it play over itself because it's still small sounding. You know what I mean? This is just that microphone in a completely irrational place.
Right.
Happy accident. I got comments, and so I thought, let me.
Oh, yeah. Was this the bathrobe video?
Yeah, it was a bathrobe video. Plopped the mic down, and I got comments on it, and I got text messages. People texted me and said, your mic's in the wrong place. They text my phone.
Yeah, wellness check.
You can't,
Is everything
Are you
okay?
Also, your mic was in the complete wrong spot.
What is going on?
So then I made sure that I put it in the Kemper pack, and it's free. It's in the free ones, and then it's free on Tonix, and it's free on Quad Cortex.
Nice that you included it.
You can try these too.
Yeah.
You can see what two different sounds. But here's my question: what makes it good? I don't think it can be that EQ, just that alone, because that's the baffle with a vocal mic, right? And by the way, I say it's with a vocal mic, but a lot of dynamic mics for guitar are also just vocal mics.
Sure.
You know, we use them for mics. Usually get used for many things. So.
By the way, I have an idea for a future pack.
Please.
You said a mic by the ear. Yeah. It's called Bandmaster POV. Like, that's just my point of view. That's where I was standing. That's what I could hear with my ears.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway.
That could work, man. That could work.
Go on.
So then with 1.3, the regular what's in the pack here for all of it, Quad Cortex, Tonex, Kemper, this is 2 microphones. It's the fat head, so you get a lot of low-end grumble. And you get the 545. Play this so we can hear this, and I'll show you something else. So boom, there's that. Now, if I jump over here to a different profile completely, where we used completely different microphone, right? Here is, it's the 121. Okay, 121. Now, let's go back to the 2 mics, Fathead 545. Listen to this. So they're having a different experience listening at home. How do we hear that in here?
Words is hard, but it's hard to like sum up the EQ that I'm hearing. Obviously, they're vastly different EQs. I feel like the single mic by itself was maybe more like scooped a little bit, and not as full range.
Yeah.
You know, which I guess it makes sense. It's not combining 2 patterns of 2 mics.
Yeah, I think that's a good word. Not as full range, because I was going to say that the 2 mics together have more bass and more high end.
Right.
They're very there's a lot of low end depth. There's a lot of high end treble.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then over here, it's like you said, scooped, but also it's kind of chill.
Yeah.
Like it's scooped, like not a lot of mids, which would mean, doesn't that mean more highs and lows? Yeah, but not full range. Not like they don't seem to extend way far out.
Yeah.
You know? Like try that again.
Yeah.
Now here is another mic by itself.
Which one's this?
This is a 545. It's basically this mic. One dynamic mic by itself. Sounds like a little dog barking at you.
Yeah, brighter. I would say the mids are more like aggressive. That 121 is very soft feeling to me.
Yeah.
Just like gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did you use the Fathead in the 545, and then the 121 came in by itself? Why not the Fathead by itself?
I think the Fathead is just it's a good mic, but I like it paired with something else.
Okay.
I
And
don't
it's
really.
similar to the 121.
It's fatter, a lot fatter. It's a pretty exaggerated
name
low
would-
end.
Okay.
So it's like the ribbon sound, but a lot more lowness.
Oh, okay.
And you hear that. You hear that. It's not the dynamic that's making that difference.
Mm-hmm.
When we have the 1.3 profile and it has a lot more low end.
Yeah.
It's that Fathead.
So Fathead, yeah.
Now some people would say the Fathead is too fat for certain mics, for certain amps. That might be true.
Yeah.
On a Blackface Fender, I would prefer a little more of the 121. Anyway, what makes a good profile? Is it this? Is it the EQ? Because I've got an EQ right here. Here, you want me to ruin, your tone? Easy.
Always.
Tone junkie. Want us to ruin your tone?
Tagline.
So here is, let's go back to that 1.3, right? And play that for us again so we can hear that. Boom. Now I'll turn this EQ on, and what's this thing doing? It's adding a bunch of mid-range and doing stuff. But let me cut highs and cut lows. I won't be soft about it. I'll just show you that if we're talking about good tone comes from EQ, well, why are we doing all this? Here, try that now. Without. If it's just about mic EQ and stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, when you first asked the question, like, what are the best profiles? I think, well, what was the best signal chain?
Yeah.
Good mics, good pre's, good placement. It's frustrating because the baffle thing kind of throws that all off because it was not the right placement.
Yeah, it's like technically wrong.
Technically
but
wrong.
You could use that if you were overdubbing guitars. You 100%.
Right.
In a studio could go, oh, let's overdub it. And the producer might walk over and just move the mic way out of the way.
Yeah. Or get like a room sound, like kind of way off the cab.
Why not? Yeah.
Interesting.
Experimentation. The Blues Breaker sound, the amp is the Blues Breaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's named after Clapton bringing his JTM 45 combo for a gig that ends up being a record. John Mayall's Blues Breaker record. The story is they turned it on 10. He just cranked it way up, threw it in the corner, and they put the mics in the middle of the room and they walked out.
Like so far from it.
Yeah, so and I guess if you listen to the record, it might be just a bunch of room sound. But the thing is then what did you record?
Right.
What's the sound of this amp? Is it the baffle? Certainly not.
Yeah.
You would never walk up and put it here. You never really walk up and put it in the middle of the speaker, which is why in the room tone is so different. So I don't really know what people are saying. What makes it good? One thing I think can make it good is when I listen to something and I just strum an E chord and it just I can just hear something and it's pleasant and maybe it's in this gain range. This is my kind of favorite gain range, and maybe I can make it clean and I can make it dirty. Try to make this clean and dirty just with your pick attack, even just with pickups or something. Try the neck kind of clean, and then try to make it distort a little, and then just really hit it on the bridge. So if you don't touch your volume, if you leave your volume at 10, I'm curious, how clean could you make it just with your pick attack?
Yeah. Let's find out.
Let's find out. Yeah, to me, that's a good thing.
Yeah, or fingers.
Guitar, man.
You know what the whole range. Yeah,
that's the thing that just makes you smile.
Right.
Totally. That's all we're after.
Yeah.
And
it really is.
That's all we're after.
Can we just be simple?
That's it. That's all I've ever been going for, man.
Yeah.
So this whole thing, I mean, part of me goes like, isn't it just this machine that's doing all the hard work? Isn't it just the Tonex?
Right.
And I think there's an element of that. I think you do choose microphones and you choose preamps and you choose these things and you're sort of crafting like, you know, like you're the guy baking the cake. And ultimately, like everyone's kind of using the same ingredients.
Totally.
You know, you're really not. You might like. Oh, I got my secret ingredients, a little rose water. You know, and I don't know if you can taste it.
Right.
And maybe there's enough little like I do it this way, and and this flour is a little different, and I get this from here, and then at the end it's all a bit different. It's all a bit you. You know, but like. I don't know, man. To me, it's real simple. If I just strum a chord and it sounds good. Right. It is good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It reminds me of like the conversation about recording guitars or like making an album or something. It's like everyone can record guitars that has a DAW and a cable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
everyone can
yeah.
record guitars. But some of the best sounding tones are the ones that are these long-standing bands with great producers. And it's like, what's the difference between me and like, you know, a Foo Fighters record, you know? I think it's the experience, the ears, it's all the ways that they deliver those tones are worlds beyond what I could just do like in Logic, you know, just like plugging in. So I don't know. I think a part of it is expertise and time doing it, and signal chain really matters.
Yeah, there's definitely some signal chain stuff. I mean, if you have like the feeling, you know, one person has a more compressed sound, that might be that there is more compression in the chain somewhere and they like that. Or they could be adding compression.
Right.
You know, on the Kemper we could add it here, or we could come in here and add it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's one thing I noticed about working at Stu's house is like he's worked on getting good guitar tones in that space with his gear. So when we go to profile, it's like it's not really different than just recording guitars. You know, mic them up,
it's not.
you know?
It's not, and it's actually easy because I just go, Stu, how do you use this?
Yeah, how would
and then
you
he
record?
just puts it on. And he just does it. He's like, here's what I like to do.
Yeah.
And if anything, I go, all right, let's do it here, here, here. And he's like, I never do that. I would just use it here.
Yeah.
You know, I would just. To me, it's always on 6. You know, or it's always on 2.
And he knows that because of the hundreds of times he's done it.
Yeah, and then he's just like, that's what I use it for.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't know what good is, man. I really don't. I know. And there's a lot of talk about, you know, Tonex versus Kemper versus Quad Cortex. And you know, when this video comes out just a day or two earlier, you know, we put up 3 demos of this amp on the Kemper, on the Tonex, on the Quad Cortex. And they don't really sound that different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just, I mean, the effects are different.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, what's around him is different for sure.
Amps, I think, just should maybe inspire you to do something. And it's up to you. It's up to me, I think, to be like a chef and taste an ingredient and go, it has a characteristic that will lend itself to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's useful.
Yeah. I'm sprinkling a little Parmesan on my grilled cheese. You know what I mean? It's just a little.
Right.
Because I go, this could be a cool accent.
Right.
You know?
The little touches.
It's the little touches. So I listen to an amp like this and I just go, well, what does it sound like? Oh, it's got like the low end. It's got little this. I go, oh, the fathead would be cool. And oh, but it's too much. And I'm playing with the proximity of it and playing with the placement. You know what I mean? And then happy accident.
Right.
You know? And what about this? Why not? How about this?
Don't forget the ear.
Just on the side. Yeah. Look at this. Why not? Who knows? You know?
I'm super intrigued now.
I mean, look at that. We could just do this. This would be a whole thing. Sometimes good tone is like maybe hard fought. So if it's a little bit difficult in the beginning, you know, it doesn't mean it's not without its purpose.
Gosh, it's like a poem.
It's like a poem. Yeah. Tone is hard fought.
Oh, man. That'll be an article later on the website.
Yeah.
So.
How come they don't call me for these guest spots in Premier Guitar?
I don't know.
Tone is hard fought.
One day
they could just take one of the Saturday morning videos and transcribe it. You know?
Yeah.
I think a lot would be out of context.
I think so.
Suze, play us out. Here's a good profile, whatever the hell that means.
Don't even know. Can we just like turn stuff on?
Sure. The fact that you just hit all those buttons and then it sounded like the intro of a song. And this is completely shaping it, and this is completely shaping it. If I just turn this stuff off, just play that same thing. I mean, that's so stupid, you know?
I don't even know what that is.
Look, here's a drive.